Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something fun. So if you guys remember 6 months ago when the dialogue regarding the Netflix series for Harry and Meghan on Netflix first came out, a lot of us were reading those articles. We were talking about the anticipation of it all. We were just getting into it. But I'm gonna call myself out. So I went back and found my video that I put out there regarding what articles I read regarding this docuseries at the time before it had posted, and what my thoughts were and what I anticipated. And I want to see how many of these things I got right and the things that I got wrong. Let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you have not already, feel free to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I drop some new heat for the streets. Thank you so much to my royal court. I'm going to go ahead and curtsy to you. I want to say a big hello to the friend circle, and I'm going to say a huge hello to the Patreon members. Thank you so much for everything you do and for being a participant over here on my channel. You have no idea what it means to me. But that doesn't mean we can't call me out. So I went back and listened to my video regarding the Netflix special for the Sussexes. And at that time, I don't even think I fully believed there would be a docuseries. I don't know if you guys remember, but like there was this moment during the summer where it was just like a hotbed for these faux articles, where people would put something out there and just see what stuck, and then that would become the narrative. Well, I guess I could have just covered that by saying media. Media doing what media does. But the Netflix story just kept circulating, and it was circulating though under the guise of being a reality show. And that's why I didn't really believe it was going to be anything, because they kept saying a reality show and the Sussexes at home. And so I made a video based on my thoughts. So I'm going to go segment by segment and say what I anticipated, my thoughts at the time, and now that I've seen the docuseries, what do I think now? So let's get into it. First, the reality show promise. All of these articles kept saying it's going to be a reality show. They kept saying keeping up with the Sussexes. Do y'all remember that? Keeping up with Harry and Meghan. And they were trying to put it out there that this was going to be a reality show like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So let's hear my thoughts on it, and then let's see if I got it right. Oh, I'm so nervous.
If I've come to know anything, I know that they're not about to give us reality TV. So for people who keep saying like they're going to be reality stars, that is not the same thing as a docuseries. So when this article opened up by Sarah Nathan in page 6, that was the first thing that I caught, and I was like, you gotta hold off there. When it said keeping up with the Sussexes, this is not about to be keeping up with the Kardashians. It's just not. First of all, it's a docuseries. So a docuseries and a reality TV show are very different. A docuseries is more so a documentary that is cut into parts, into episodes. Whereas a reality TV show kind of shows you the good and the bad, and then there's a lot of contrived drama to give it sensationalism. The Sussexes don't need that, and they're too highbrow for that. They're not about to do that shit. They are about to give us a documentary, a docuseries.
All right, so I got it right. I called it out at the time. I saw through the BS, not a reality show. And I think I only had that tip off because they explicitly said a docu-series. And I know that a docu-series and a reality show couldn't be further from the truth. You know, Mariah Carey has done docu-series before. Beyonce has done docu-series before. And there's a different type of production and a different type of depth that you get from a reality show versus a docu-series. So I'm glad I got that one right. Number 2, seeing them at home. So let's hear my thoughts on that and then what we ended up seeing.
The only part of their home that I have seen is their office, which I love. Oh God, I love their office. Their office and their backyard. So anything where I can see more, I'm excited because it's them at home. They keep saying that it's the Sussexes at home. So that's something I'm actually really excited about.
Okay, so I had a high hope that we would see a lot more home life than we saw. I wasn't totally incorrect because although we didn't see like their day to day, like waking up with Harry and Meghan and going to bed with Harry and Meghan, we didn't see any of that. And I don't even think I anticipated that. What we did see was great snapshots. We got to see them on Easter. We got to see some of their holiday celebrations. We got to see them on a private plane. We got to see them packing for their trips. So we did get to see behind the scenes, although they didn't do their interview spots at their home. We did see snapshots of their home, showed glimpses of their home, which is what I wanted. But no, they did not interview there. But we saw the chicken coop, which at the time, I don't even think I realized was as big as it was. In my mind, the chicken coop was like 6 or 7 little coops. I didn't realize it was like an area. That's why you need the space. So we did get to see them at home. I would say my favorite part of the at home was, one, the decor, because Meghan has a lot of really great style choices, especially with her clothing. We saw her house in Toronto. So I knew that her style decor would be something to see. But when we were watching the documentary, that part where she's watching the Oprah episode, their TV room or their theater room, that wallpaper is like some of my favorite. That jacquard wallpaper with the reflective color. Oh my gosh, that is some of my favorites. So we might move into a bigger place in a couple of months, and I'm excited because that means I get to decorate again. And so I've always wanted to do a house tour of my townhouse so y'all could see my design. You know, I said I have a black wall. My bedroom is whimsical. It's like sleepy time in the forest in a manner. And so that was the theme. My bathroom is very much breakfast at Tiffany's. My dining room is breakfast at Tiffany's. And I worked really hard for a whole year to make sure all of these different themes worked into one overall look. And I want to do a home tour, but no, it's just not the safest thing to do. So, but yeah, from time to time, y'all will see things in the background and be like, oh, I like your dining room, or oh, I like your living room. And so I would love to show you, because I just put so much into my design. And so when I saw that wallpaper, I was like, thanks, Meghan. I'm going to look into that. So we did get to see great glimpses at home. We also saw Tyler Perry's house. So we got more than we bargained for with it. So yay. Next up, the babies. What did I have to say about seeing the babies? Let's see.
I want to see the babies, the kiddos, but
I did not think they were going to show us this much Archie and Lily, but we got to see so much. We saw Lily's first birthday. We saw Archie's first birthday. I was very pleased with how much we saw the babies. They did not have to show us those kids, and I'm glad that they did. They really did us justice by letting us see those babies. But they look like they have a very happy family. We got to see Doria. Again, I did not know what to expect. So when I saw Doria come and take her seat, I was just like, yes, like I actually would have loved to see more of Doria's family too. I would have, but I really was excited to see Ashley. So I guess the family aspect, we got more than what we bargained for, because we definitely got a lot of snapshots of the kids. You know, something else that I didn't get to talk about a lot? The family aspect was beautiful, but I also love to see how Harry and Meghan still do things together by themselves. That is very necessary. It can be hard when you have objectives and deadlines and goals and obligations outside of your partner, but to make them the priority, that is only going to help your family. That's only going to help your environment if the two of you are making sure that each other is good and that you still have your really strong connection and continue to build on that. Something tells me that they don't need no help in that department. They seem madly in love. All right, next up. Oh, Archwell behind the scenes. What did I have to say about that?
But I especially want to see how they manage their operations with Archwell.
So I wanted way more Archwell than we got, but we did get to see a lot of behind the scenes. So them getting ready for different award shows, different appearances, their backstage access, how they pick their outfits, how they get into it. We especially saw the background to that gorgeous red dress. So we didn't get to see Archwell per se, but we did get to see how the machine is run. So I'm actually glad with that. I'm cool with it. I would have loved to see like their staff at Archwell, but I can also see why that wouldn't be the best decision, because they have a job to do and you want to protect their privacy too, because they're not there to be documented, they're there to do a job. So I can kind of see why that would happen, but I would have loved to see a lot more of how the sausage was made and Harry's job as a chief impact officer. Lastly, the family breakdown between the Sussexes and the royal family. So what did I have to say about that?
I think it's going to be entertaining, but I don't think it's going to be quote unquote juicy, because I don't think there's any drama to be seen. I mean, yeah, the cameras were probably present when the breakdown between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family were occurring, but I want to remind people that that is a family. So outside of what we know publicly, that's still people who are related to each other. This is a family. And I don't know, something about the coverage of their family breakdown has annoyed me, because let me tell you what I'm not about to do. If my cousin comes over and she doesn't have the best table manners, I'm not about to go into my office and be like, hey, get somebody on the phone from the Los Angeles Times. I want to go ahead and brief them on how my cousin was acting at dinner. So something about the way the royal family operates really disgusts me, because they just don't have anything that's sacred to just be family. But at the end of the day, families have highs and lows. Family members have highs and lows. Family members come together and fall apart, and that's just part of having family. But I love that the Sussexes have owned their privacy, have shared what needed to be shared, which I feel like there was a lot more that they did not share. I feel like they were being very careful and considerate with how they did that Oprah interview. I feel like the royal family should be very thankful that they are upstanding and dignified people, and as dignified as they are, because had that been my black ass, I would have been out there telling them, well, listen, they also did this and they did that, and girl, they said this about you. I would have told it all. God is still working on me. But I feel like there was a lot more that they could have said, but I feel like they still maintained their dignity, and they still maintained the dignity and humanity of the people they were also discussing. They told the facts and left it at that, and they have not talked about it since. And see, that's the part that I find so different than how the rest of the royal family has decided to handle this. Every single time Meghan and Harry are in the headlines, I just feel like there's negativity coming from across the pond. And how you want to move forward, but you still playing the same old games. So again, family will be family. What sucks is that the world has prying eyes, and I feel like the other side uses that to their advantage to keep the rift going.
Wow. Okay. So I didn't think that they were going to share anything. Meanwhile, they were very transparent, and again, in a very dignified way. So if you're going to share something that involves someone else, there's this tightrope that we have to walk where we determine if it's our story to tell in its entirety, because we may bear a part of it, but we still want to protect other people's integrity and the integrity of their experience by not oversharing their experience. And I think that's a word for the royal family, not for the Sussexes. I think the royal family consistently not only briefed against the Sussexes, not only lied on the Sussexes, but from what I understand and from what I've observed, there was this clear intentional setup of certain things that they could then report on later. And that's something I didn't see discussed a lot, because we only have so much time. It's what, 6 hours, maybe a little over 6 hours of footage. We don't have a lot of time. But there just felt to me this intentional teeing up of the Sussexes, and then this immediate swing in order to put them into the stratosphere and look a certain way and to be observed in a certain light. I think that everything they had them do, there was this intent for it to fail in comparison to Will and Kate. And when it did not, then the lies came. And so I didn't think we were going to see as much of that as we did. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we saw the truth. I'm very glad they were able to speak for themselves. They didn't have to hide behind a writer or a friend or, my favorite, a source. I want to be a source. So, side note, Harry and Meghan, if you ever cross my channel, I hope it's this video because I want you to hear me and hear me good. If you ever want a source to speak on your behalf and you want a little something extra, I will do it. I don't care what it is. You could say, you know what? Screw King Charles, but make it cute. And I would come out here and be like, King Charles, screw you. Like, I would give it that extra oomph. I'm not going to hide behind this fancy dialogue. I'll go there. If you say, you know what, screw that person, let's have a fight, I'm going to be right there in the ring with my boxing glove. They said I had to come fight you. Like, whatever is needed, let me know. I am extending my services to you because the palace has all these raggedy sources they hide behind. Y'all can hide behind me. I can't wait. You know what? That's not a good idea because I can't hold water. That's why I have a YouTube channel. I tell everything. Y'all know my base default is do something to me, I'm gonna tell it. Like you're not getting, I'm not one of those people that's like dignified silence, because silence is how generational curses continue. Silence is how pain continues to fester. Silence is how people continue to abuse you when you don't get help. A closed mouth does not get fed. Nothing good ever came from silence. Silence is not dignified. It's cowardly. Silence is a retroactive response. No. Silence is a perpetual response to maintain the status quo. And if the status quo is abuse, you're complicit. So no, I don't believe in dignified silence. I believe in dignified telling it. Like, always tell it. Don't not tell it. Somebody at work mistreats you, don't try to sit through it and find a way. Meet them with that same energy. Cut you off in the middle of a sentence. I'm speaking. So anyway, X, Y, Z. Don't ever be complicit in your own abuse. It is going to suck to stand up for yourself. It is going to be uncomfortable. It is intimidating. You feel overwhelmed. You feel outnumbered. You feel even more abused after speaking up for your abuse. But let me tell you this, that is temporary. Once you get through those icky feelings of speaking up for yourself, you will get to the other side where you feel liberated and free from the abuse. And the truth will set you free. Because the truth always finds a way. People can only lie so long. Truth will be there because the truth stands on its own. I'll say this. Do not be complicit in yours or anyone else's abuse by staying silent. It's not dignified. I'm really glad to see how much they gave us from the family breakdown. It's a little sad, but it's good to know the truth. And I say this every time because every time people seem to not know. Because they're royal, this is now history. This is not celebrity fodder. So it's important for them to make sure the truth is out there, because the palace isn't going to hesitate to put out these lies. They haven't stopped. They're the ones who started the mudslinging, and Harry and Meghan never mudslinged back. Although I would have loved for them to. I would have loved for them to talk about those teddy bears on the bed. I would have loved for them to talk about sausage fingers. I would have loved for them to talk about Camilla. I would have loved for them to talk about the skin on Kate. I would have loved for them to talk about Baldylocks and his bullying. I would have loved it all. I want to hear about Rose Hanbury. Do you know how I would have done a backflip down the street if I had seen Rose Hanbury come in there and have a seat and have something to say? Give everybody a voice. So they didn't go the depths that they could have gone. But if y'all ever need an anonymous spokesperson, I work for free. I'll do it for free. The payment is knowing you, or at least just having a phone call. That's the payment. So anyway, next thing I'll be the godmother and telling it. So that's all I've got for you. Did the documentary meet your expectations? Why or why not? And not just expectations for its success, but like the things that you thought you would see in this documentary. Did they deliver on those things? Was what you expected what we saw? And you can be as wrong or as right in this because none of us really knew anything. So it's fun to talk about how we anticipated one thing and got something else. Because I'm going to tell you, watching the doc, I didn't know what to expect. And it was fun to watch it that way. So tell me in the comment section below, did you expect what we got? Why or why not? What did you get right and what did you get wrong? And nobody got everything right. So before y'all come up here trying to be scholars and Harry and Meghan, I don't believe you. Tell me what you got wrong as well as right. I know y'all got some of the stuff wrong because I'm up here being truth. I'm up here being honest. So be honest. All right, that's all I've got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got to watch me take the walk of shame of all the things I got wrong. stress. But if you have not already, feel free to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell. If you're interested in becoming a member, hit the join button, or if you want to be over on my Patreon, where you'll get exclusive videos and videos early, which will resume in January after the holiday season, then go ahead and use the link in the description box below to join my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, thank you so much, Leola Brown, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.